The Discovery. Sarah Chen stood at the helm of the salvage ship Opportunity, staring at the massive derelict vessel floating against the backdrop of Jupiter's swirling storms. After 15 years of deep space salvage operations, she thought she'd seen everything. But this ship was different. "What do you make of it, Marcus?" she asked her chief engineer, who was frantically reviewing sensor data at his station. Marcus shook his head, his weathered face illuminated by the soft blue glow of his holographic displays. "That's just it, Captain. I can't make anything of it. The energy readings don't make sense. The hull composition, it's like nothing I've ever seen before." The vessel they discovered appeared ancient, its hull marked with strange geometric patterns that Sarah initially mistook for battle damage. But there was something eerily deliberate about them, like the strokes of a calligraphy brush painted across the cosmos. The Galactic Salvage Registry listed this as a Class 3 derelict. Sarah said, bringing up the mission brief, "Simple recovery operation, but this doesn't look like any alien ship I've ever seen." She'd encountered plenty of those since humanity joined the Galactic Commonwealth 30 years ago. "That's because it's not alien," came a voice from the science station. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the ship's xenorchaeologist, had been unusually quiet since they'd first detected the derelict. "Look at these structural patterns. They're based on the golden ratio, but with a distinctly human interpretation. This ship, I think it was built by us." Sarah frowned. "That's impossible. Humanity didn't have ships this size 300 years ago, when this thing seems to date from, and the Commonwealth archives would have records of it. Unless," Marcus said slowly, "someone wanted to keep it secret." The Opportunity's proximity alerts suddenly blared. The derelict ship was powering up. "Emergency stations," Sarah ordered, but before anyone could move, a beam of light shot from the ancient vessel, scanning every crew member on the bridge. A soft, synthesized voice filled the air. "Human genetic signatures confirmed. Initiating Protocol Omega. Welcome, children of Earth." The derelict's outer hull began to shimmer and change, the seemingly random patterns flowing like liquid metal to reveal sleek, advanced architecture beneath. What had appeared to be battle damage transformed into intricate technological systems beyond anything in the current Commonwealth fleet. "By the stars," Marcus whispered. "It was hiding in plain sight." Sarah watched in awe as the ancient ship revealed its true nature. She had a feeling they'd just stumbled onto something that would change humanity's place in the galaxy forever. And somewhere in the back of her mind, a question burned. Who had built this ship, and what were they preparing for? Legacy of Earth. The holographic display materialized in the center of the Opportunity's bridge, showing a woman in a crisp military uniform from 3 centuries ago. Her recorded image flickered slightly as she spoke. "If you're seeing this message, you've discovered humanity's greatest secret. I am Admiral Helena Rodriguez, and in the year 2157, I oversaw Project Prometheus, humanity's insurance policy against extinction." Sarah and her crew watched transfixed as the Admiral's message continued. Marcus had managed to stabilize their systems after the initial shock of the ancient ship's transformation, but his sensor readings were still going haywire. "We discovered something in the early 22nd century," Admiral Rodriguez continued. "A pattern in the cosmos that suggested intelligent life had repeatedly risen and fallen in our galaxy. Each civilization disappeared approximately every 50,000 years. We knew humanity would eventually face whatever force caused this cycle, so we began preparing." Dr. Tanaka stepped closer to the hologram, her eyes wide. "The preservation theory. It was dismissed as fringe science centuries ago, but they actually found proof." The Admiral's image nodded, as if anticipating the question. "We created this vessel, the ESS Prometheus, using technology we kept hidden from our own people. The ship contains technological innovations that would be discovered naturally over centuries of development, but we couldn't wait that long. We broke every rule of technological progression to build it." Sarah felt a chill run down her spine. The Commonwealth had strict laws about technological development, ensuring species advanced at a natural pace. Now she understood why this ship had been disguised. It wasn't just hidden from aliens, but from humanity itself. The Prometheus is equipped with a quantum eye matrix, the Admiral explained. It can adapt and evolve its own systems, appearing as primitive or advanced as needed to avoid detection. The geometric patterns you initially saw were actually compressed data storage, containing the sum of human scientific knowledge and potential. Marcus whistled low. That explains the weird energy readings. The entire hull is basically one massive quantum computer. The hologram shifted, showing schematics of the vessel. The ship's primary weapon systems are based on controlled quantum tunneling, allowing it to bypass any known form of shielding. Its defensive capabilities can adapt to any form of attack. But most importantly, it carries the seeds of humanity's technological renaissance. The Admiral's expression grew more serious. If you're seeing this, it means the quantum eye has determined that humanity is ready for the next phase. The ship is now yours. But understand that accepting this responsibility means protecting Earth from what's coming. What exactly is coming? Sarah asked aloud, though she knew the recording couldn't respond. As if on cue, the ship's eye spoke again, its voice different from the recorded message. Multiple quantum wake signatures detected at the edge of the solar system. Pattern matches theoretical models of the civilization-ending force Admiral Rodriguez referenced. Estimated arrival: 72 hours. Sarah looked at her crew, seeing the mix of fear and determination on their faces. They'd just inherited humanity's most powerful weapon, and they were about to find out exactly why it was built. "Well," she said, straightening her uniform, "I guess we better figure out how this thing works. Fast." The Prometheus's systems began interfacing with the Opportunity, sharing data faster than any normal computer could process. As Sarah watched the stream of information flow across her displays, she realized that humanity's greatest test wasn't just coming. It was already here. Awakening. Neural interface calibration complete, the Prometheus eye announced as Sarah felt the last connection click into place. The bridge around her had transformed into a sphere of pure information, streams of data flowing like rivers through the air. Her crew floated at their stations, suspended in gravity-nullifying fields that allowed for optimal neural connection. "This is incredible," Marcus breathed, his hands dancing through holographic engineering displays that responded to his thoughts faster than any physical movement could. The ship's quantum core isn't just processing data, it's creating new technological solutions in real time. Dr. Tanaka was immersed in historical records, her eyes darting rapidly as she absorbed centuries of hidden human advancement. "They knew," she whispered. "They knew everything about the cycles of extinction, about the true nature of the galaxy. They built this ship not just as a weapon, but as a vault of human potential." Sarah focused her thoughts, and the ship's tactical systems bloomed around her like a deadly flower. The Prometheus's capabilities were beyond anything she'd imagined. Its weapons weren't just advanced, they bent the very laws of physics that the Commonwealth considered immutable. "Multiple ships approaching from the Kuiper Belt," the AI reported. "Configuration unknown. No match in any known database." Through the neural interface, Sarah could feel the ship's excitement. Yes, excitement. The AI wasn't just a computer. It was a living extension of humanity's drive to survive, to overcome, to evolve. "Show me," she commanded, and the tactical display expanded to reveal the approaching vessels. They were massive, each one larger than any ship in the Commonwealth fleet. Their design defied conventional geometry, surfaces shifting and writhing like living tissue. "Those are the destroyers," Dr. Tanaka said, her voice hollow. "The ones that come every 50,000 years. The historical records call them the Harbingers." The closest Harbinger ship suddenly transmitted a signal, not through conventional communications channels, but directly into their minds through the neural interface. The message was simple but terrifying. "Your advancement was detected. Your extinction is scheduled. Resistance is evolutionarily disadvantageous. Sarah felt a smile spread across her face. Well, then I guess it's time to show them why humans are known for doing the evolutionarily disadvantageous thing. She reached out with her mind, and the Prometheus responded like an extension of her own body. The ship's quantum core spun up to full power, reality itself seeming to bend around them. The geometric patterns on the hull began to pulse with energy that defied classification. All hands, Sarah broadcast to both her original crew and the Prometheus's systems, prepare for combat. Let's show these harbingers why humanity built its ultimate weapon to look like a piece of junk. Marcus's hands flew across his displays. Quantum weapons grid online. Reality distortion shields at maximum. Time dilation field generators spooled and ready. Dr. Tanaka. Sarah called. What do the historical records say about fighting these things? The xenorchaeologist pulled up combat data from ancient battles. The records show they've never been defeated. Every civilization that came before us tried to match them, technologically. None succeeded. Then we won't try to match them. Sarah said, we'll do what humans do best. We'll change the rules of the game entirely. The Prometheus's eye spoke, its voice now carrying the hint of anticipation. Tactical analysis complete. Harbinger weapons utilize conventional physics frameworks. Their strategic algorithms are based on predictable responses. They have never encountered a quantum state vessel capable of actively rewriting local spacetime. In other words, Marcus grinned, they've never fought anything like us before. Sarah nodded, feeling the ship's power thrumming through her neural connection. Send word to Earth. Tell them humanity's greatest secret is about to become the galaxy's biggest surprise. The Harbinger fleet approached, their massive forms blotting out the stars. But as Sarah prepared to engage humanity's greatest weapon, she realized something profound. The Prometheus wasn't just a ship. It was the embodiment of humanity's refusal to accept extinction, their determination to survive against impossible odds. And now, after 3 centuries of waiting, it was finally time to show the galaxy exactly what that meant. Defiance. The first Harbinger beam struck like a spear of dark energy, aimed directly at the Prometheus's heart. But instead of impacting the hull, the beam simply disappeared. Quantum probability field holding, Marcus reported, his voice steady despite the strain of managing the ship's reality warping defenses. Their weapons literally cease to exist when they enter our spacetime bubble. Sarah watched through the neural interface as the massive Harbinger ships adjusted their attack pattern. They moved with perfect precision, like pieces of a vast machine. They're trying to analyze our defensive capabilities, she observed. Let's give them something else to think about. With a thought, she activated the Prometheus's primary weapons array. The geometric patterns across the hull flared with impossible light as quantum tunnels opened throughout the enemy fleet. Space itself seemed to twist. Multiple direct hits, Dr. Tanaka called out, monitoring the tactical feed. But their hulls are self-repairing. Some kind of biomechanical technology. The Harbinger ships responded with a barrage that would have annihilated a conventional fleet. Energy beams, gravitic torpedoes, and weapons that defied classification all converged on the Prometheus. The quantum probability field caught most of them, but some got through, impacting against the secondary shields and explosions of exotic particles. They're adapting, the AI warned, detecting attempts to match our quantum frequency. Sarah gritted her teeth. Then let's show them what adaptation really means. Marcus, initiate Protocol Omega-7. Marcus's eyes widened. Captain, we barely understand how that system works. The power requirements alone are exactly what this ship was built for. Sarah finished. Do it. The Prometheus's quantum core spun up to previously untested levels. The hull began to shift and flow like liquid metal, the geometric patterns rearranging themselves into new configurations. Through the neural interface, Sarah could feel the ship transforming, becoming something that shouldn't be possible. Reality anchor points established. The AI reported. Quantum state multiplication in progress. Suddenly, there wasn't just one Prometheus. There were hundreds, each one existing in a slightly different quantum state, all of them real, all of them attacking simultaneously. The Harbinger fleet found itself facing an enemy that broke the very laws of physics they relied upon. But the ancient destroyers weren't easily defeated. They began to coordinate their attacks across multiple dimensional planes, trying to collapse the Prometheus's quantum multiplication effect. The space around the battle became a twisted maze of warped physics and impossible geometries. Hull breach on Deck 7. Marcus shouted as a particularly vicious attack slipped through their defenses. Quantum stabilizers are at 200% capacity. Reroute power from the probability field, Sarah ordered. Dr. Tanaka, what do the historical records say about their command structure? They operate as a unified consciousness, Tanaka replied, scrolling through data streams. But, wait, there's a pattern here. The historical data shows subtle variations in their attack algorithms. They're not truly unified. They're networked. Sarah's mind raced. Then they have a central coordinator. Marcus analyzed their communication patterns. Find me the node that's directing this dance. The engineering displays erupted with new data as Marcus worked. Got it. The third ship from the center. Its quantum signature is slightly different from the others. It's transmitting continuous command updates to the rest of the fleet. Target locked, Sarah said with grim satisfaction. Time to show them humanity's greatest trick. We don't just think outside the box. We rewrite the laws of physics that created the box. All power to the main quantum tunneling array. The Prometheus's hull blazed with energy as it focused its full power on a single point. Space itself seemed to scream as the quantum tunnel formed, not just in normal space, but across every quantum state they generated. Hundreds of versions of the same weapon, all targeting the same command ship. The Harbinger vessel never had a chance to react. The quantum tunnel bypassed its defenses completely, appearing inside its command center. For a moment, the massive ship seemed to exist in all possible states simultaneously, intact, destroyed, half-formed, and countless other variations. Then reality reasserted itself, and the ship simply ceased to exist, taking its quantum signature with it. The effect on the rest of the fleet was immediate. Without their central coordinator, the perfect synchronization of the Harbinger ships began to break down. Their attacks became disjointed, their movements uncoordinated. They're retreating, Dr. Tanaka announced, wonder in her voice. For the first time in 50,000 years, the Harbingers are retreating. But Sarah could see through the tactical display that the victory had come at a cost. The Prometheus's systems were strained to their limits, power fluctuations cascading through its quantum core. They had bloodied the nose of an enemy that had never known defeat, but this was just the beginning. Revelation. 3 days after the battle, the Prometheus hung in orbit above Earth, its hull still bearing the scars of its victory over the Harbingers. The Commonwealth's entire defense fleet had assembled around the planet, drawn by reports of the impossible battle at the edge of the solar system. Sarah stood on the bridge, watching as representatives from every major galactic power arrived through the quantum gate network. They're afraid, Dr. Tanaka said, reviewing the diplomatic communications streaming in. Not just of the ship, but of what it represents. Humanity kept this hidden for centuries. Can you blame them? Marcus asked from his engineering station, where he was still working to stabilize the quantum core after its unprecedented exertion. We just proved that everything they thought they knew about technological limitations was wrong. Sarah nodded, but her attention was on the latest transmission from the Prometheus's eye. The quantum sensors had detected the remaining Harbinger fleet regrouping at the galaxy's edge. They would return, and next time they would be prepared for the Prometheus's capabilities. Show them, she said finally. The AI understood immediately, activating a broadcast to every ship in orbit. The geometric patterns across the Prometheus's hull began to pulse with light, but this time they weren't preparing for battle. Instead, they were revealing information. transmitting the complete database of human technological advancement that had been hidden within the ship's quantum storage. "People of the galaxy," Sarah broadcast, her voice carried to every vessel, every listening post, every world with communications capability. 3 centuries ago, humanity discovered a terrible truth about our universe, that intelligent life was trapped in a cycle of extinction, each civilization rising only to be cut down by the harbingers. Our ancestors made a choice then, to break that cycle not just for humanity, but for all life. The transmission continued, showing the true capabilities of quantum engineering, reality manipulation, and technologies that the Commonwealth had deemed impossible. But more importantly, it showed how to achieve them, how to break free from the artificial limitations that had been accepted as natural law. The Prometheus was never meant to be just a weapon, Sarah continued. It was meant to be a gift to all sentient life, proof that the impossible was possible, that the laws of physics themselves could be rewritten by those with the courage to try. The harbingers enforced stagnation, but humanity chose evolution. Through the neural interface, Sarah could feel the shock and awe radiating from the assembled fleet as they processed the information. Centuries of carefully maintained technological hierarchies were crumbling in minutes. "They'll return," she acknowledged, stronger than before. "But now we all have the tools to face them together." Humanity kept this secret not out of selfishness, but because we needed to prove it was possible, to show that the harbingers could be defeated, that their law of extinction could be broken. The quantum core hummed as it transmitted the last of its stored knowledge. In ships across the fleet, new possibilities were already becoming reality as their computers processed and implemented the quantum technologies. "We stand at a crossroads," Sarah said, watching as the first Commonwealth ships began to adapt, their hulls shifting with newly awakened quantum properties. "We can face the harbingers as we always have, divided and bound by artificial limitations, or we can stand together, using humanity's gift to forge a new future, one where extinction is not an inevitability, but a choice we reject." The response came not in words, but in actions. Across the fleet, ships began to transform, their crews implementing the quantum technologies with an eagerness that transcended species and politics. The age of limitation was over. Marcus checked his readings and smiled. Multiple quantum cores coming online throughout the fleet. They're not just copying the technology. They're improving it, adapting it to their own scientific foundations. "Of course they are," Dr. Tanaka said softly. "That's what living things do. They evolve. They adapt. They survive." The harbingers tried to stop that natural process, but they never understood that evolution itself is unstoppable. Sarah looked out at the transformed fleet, now a testament to what was possible when artificial boundaries were broken. The Prometheus had served its purpose, not just as humanity's ultimate weapon, but as the key to unlocking the true potential of all sentient life. "Send word to the quantum shipyards hidden throughout the galaxy," she ordered. "It's time to wake them all. The next time the harbingers come, they won't find divided civilizations waiting to be harvested. They'll find a galaxy united, armed with the greatest weapon ever created, the unlimited potential of life itself." The Prometheus's quantum core pulsed one final time, sending the activation signal to its sister ships hidden throughout the stars. Humanity's greatest secret was now the galaxy's greatest hope. The cycle of extinction that had ruled for millions of years was finally broken, replaced by something far more powerful, the unlimited potential of species working together, bound not by fear of the impossible, but by the determination to achieve it. In the end, the ship that looked like scrap had delivered humanity's most precious cargo, the freedom to evolve, to grow, to become more than anyone thought possible. And as Sarah watched the combined fleet prepare for the battles ahead, she knew that the real story was just beginning.